Good morning, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine. And hope everyone has recovered from the elements of yesterday, of course, which was obviously the disappointing news that Carlos Baleba will not be signing for Manchester United this summer. The deal is off. If there ever was a deal, the deal is off. Man United quite basically didn't want to pay the money for Carlos Baleba. Let's be honest, guys, because by reading in between the lines, I think there's more to it. But guys, before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please don't forget to smash the like on the video as well, you absolutely wonderful people. Now, guys, listen, look, what I was saying about there's more to this story than meets the eye, guys, in regards to Carlos Baleba. I would say that basically Brighton gave a clue there. They said, like, basically, if they offer the money, they would have budged. They probably would have budged. Rumor is that the money was about 115 million pounds, guys. 115 million pounds, which is just over 130 million euros, guys. So what? Look, when I think about this, look, at the end of the day, if you're going to buy a player of his caliber, Premier League proven, Liverpool spent a lot of money on Florian Wirtz. They spent a lot of money on Florian Wirtz, and he's not Premier League proven. You have to pay. You have to pay up. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of football at the end of the day. And when you're looking at the grand scheme of things, Man United have only spent not even 200 million because Cunha was not even in this year's budget. So Man United have got a 250 million FFP PSR threshold, of course. And, you know, spending that money should have been done. They should have just spent the money, splashed the money on Carlos Baleba this season, because we cannot keep going next season after season without qualifying for the Champions League. Now, look, you know, 150 million is a lot of money. I know it's a lot of money, but Carlos Baleba is a top 3 young talent in Europe. So I would have said that Man United should have just done the deal rather than saying, oh, we're going to wait until next season. Now, we don't know what's going to happen next season. We don't know if he's going to be, you know, an absolute superstar next season and end up attracting the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona and Chelsea and Liverpool and Arsenal and all these teams, of course. And we're going to be ending up having a battle on our hands, especially the fact that Carlos Baleba wants to go to Manchester United. He wanted to go to Manchester United. And this is the key here. He wanted to go to Man United. But guys, it is what it is. We have to move on from it, unfortunately. We're disappointed. This is the nature of who we're owned by. Unfortunately, guys, I did say that, you know, in regards to the full ownership. And you know, we needed a full sale. We needed the Glazers out. We didn't need a partial ownership like Ineos. We needed a proper ownership, guys. And there's no sugarcoating this. I don't care if they tried. I really don't care if they tried. Trying doesn't get you anywhere, really, does it? You can try your best, but at the end, ultimately, it's what your results are. Man United can keep trying. If we're not winning the Premier League, then you know what? You're not trying hard enough, because other teams are challenging for the Premier League. And having watched Liverpool last night, you know, they're in a good place, winning 4-2 against Bournemouth, of course. You know, Man United do need to move on. They need to start, you know what, getting their finger out and start spending some more money, because we've only signed 3 players. We could be linked to all the players in the world, but we've only signed 3 players. Now, guys, this morning, I'm hearing a lot of news about Adam Wharton. Of course, Adam Wharton is high on the list in regards to Manchester United. Adam Wharton, Crystal Palace midfielder, England midfielder, of course, has been linked to Man United before, namely last season as well. Manchester United seem to have made an approach for Adam Wharton, initial approaches for Adam Wharton in regards to the England international signature. Now, Adam Wharton reportedly would go for a fee of around 70 million plus incentives. So that's a lot less than what Carlos Baleba is. Now, one big concerning factor in regards to the Wharton deal and Baleba, when you intertwine both of those two together, is the fact that Carlos Baleba price could basically elevate other players' price, if you know what I mean. It is basically saturating, elevating the price by overpricing players, you know, other players. Crystal Palace is going to say to themselves, well, you know what, Carlos Baleba, 115 million. Well, we actually think that Wharton's worth about that much as well. And this happens in football. But Manchester United and Adam Wharton is a real thing. There is wheels on this. Man United do have a contingency plan. They do have a contingency plan. Adam Wharton is one of those guys there. Now, who else is showing the interest of Manchester United? There are players such as Ederson, players as Lamine Camara, players as we got a Sevilla midfielder as well, guys. Absolutely, as well. Him as well. We've got being linked to as well, guys. He's another one that Man United are linked to. And there's going to be a whole number of midfielders that we're going to be in for. And you know what? This is going to be crazy this next couple of weeks. There's going to be names thrown out left, right, and centre. It's going to be crazy, but keep it Stretford Post here, guys. We will separate the ball from the reality, guys. That's what we do on here, guys. Absolutely. And one thing's for certain, Man United want a midfielder. Man United desperate now for a midfielder. Luckily, we got some time in this transfer window. It is the 16th of August. We got exactly 2 weeks, guys, until the start of the end of the window, guys. The end of the window. We got 2 weeks exactly today until the end of the window. Now, anything can happen if Man United get a step on. Hopefully, Man United have been working on other deals in regards to contingencies and stuff like that, and we will be able to get a deal done quickly. Rumour has it that Man United are not given up on a goalkeeper either. Man United are looking to fix that goalkeeper area, considering that Bayinde might leave the football club. The likes of Trabzonspor, Besiktas are interested in Bayinde. Manchester United are looking at alternatives to Onana. One of those players is Seny Lamens, of course. Seny Lamens has been linked to Man United for a while now. Man United and Donnarumma looks to be over in regards to his price. Man United are not willing to pay the 50 million fee for Donnarumma, considering he'll be a free agent next year and his wages are astronomical. So that looks like a no-go for Man United, although it's not in the realms of impossibility. Manchester City are hot on the heels of Gianluigi Donnarumma, and he could be possibly going to Man City, and that looks his likely destination at the moment. But Seny Lamens is one player that Man United are incredibly interested in, but also Inter Milan are interested in this player. So Man United do have to act swiftly in regards to Seny Lamens. But taking it back to the midfield, Man United and Adam Wharton is gaining momentum. Of course, I knew that Man United will be in for this player. I knew that there will be links straight away. As soon as the Baleba thing ended, there will be links to other midfielders. Adam Wharton is one of them. And look, a lot of people are telling me that, oh, Adam Wharton he's overrated, he's this, he's that. He's not overrated. He's an absolute fantastic player. He reminds me of a little bit like Carrick. No, he's not Baleba. It's not Baleba. We needed Baleba. Baleba's the number one target. Adam Wharton is the second number one target, I would say. I wouldn't say second target, but second number one target is Adam Wharton, of course. And Adam Wharton will be cheaper than Baleba. We hope so, if the price is not overly exaggerated, which these teams are doing every time Man United seem to be interested. The price seems to go astronomical, doesn't it, at the end of the day, guys? But there are other midfielders out there that Man United could quite possibly grab for a lot cheaper as well, namely Lamine Camara, players of that ilk Man United could quite possibly get, of course. So there are a number of players out there that Man United could possibly get. Which midfielder can they get? Of course, there are players that I like in regards to that. Lucien Agume. Lucien Agume is a Sevilla player, guys. Very decent midfielder, guys. 23 years old. Sevilla midfielder, brilliant player. Another player that Man United could quite possibly be linked to. But again, we're going to be getting these links. We're going to be getting news left, right, and center in regards to midfielders. It's going to be a big couple of weeks, guys. Definitely going to be a big couple of weeks coming forward, guys. Big up everyone who's joined me in the streams, of course. Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone is blessed, of course. P Palms, good morning. Sal, I hope you're good. I wanted to big up. I wanted to be the first to highlight at this point I feel about losing able to get a midfielder in. I feel at not being able to get midfielder. I understand that we have done good business so far. It feels like we will become up dramatically short unless we get the depth in middle. Like she owned this. Surely he has the bad people on the French man. Look, at the end of the day, I get what you're saying, mate. I get what you're saying, but the midfield situation is not over. I do believe that Man United will be looking at other midfielders and will have a contingency plan, like I've been talking about Adam Wharton. Now, let me tell you something, guys. A lot of people set their heart on Baleba. I didn't set my heart on anyone. I just want a talented midfielder to come to Man United. I don't have any affiliation with any player. Adam Wharton is a great player, plays for England. Look, guys, I know it's unfashionable. I know it's an unfashionable sign. And I know at the end of the day, people are saying he's overrated. Shouldn't we say that about Baleba? Baleba's had one good season in the Premier League. Adam Wharton's had a few and dominated an FA Cup final. Let's talk about that. Do you know what I mean? Against Man City. So and Liverpool the other day, guys. So what I would say is that just because we get Adam Wharton, you know what I mean? Don't turn your nose up here. Don't say, oh, we don't want Adam Wharton. He's rubbish and this and that. He's a good player. And it is a player that will improve Man United's midfield significantly. Now, we can go in for Baleba still next summer, of course. We still can do that deal, guys. And then we can end up having Adam Wharton and Baleba in that team. And then, that is the dream partnership, to be honest. Now, there are other players interested as well. Other players, namely Ederson as well from Atalanta. That's gone a little bit quiet. I haven't heard too much about Ederson, but Man United are aware of Ederson. Ederson is a great player, of course, Atalanta player, Brazilian international, very, very good player. But Man United have not been solidly interested in him at the moment, although it's not in the realms of impossibility again that we may go in for him later on in this transfer window, which is in the next couple of weeks, of course. But Man United are desperate to get a midfielder. I just hope that Man United don't make the wrong move. I hope that they don't sign anyone for the sake of signing anyone if it doesn't improve the football team. I'd much rather us go for a different position, i.e. the goalkeeper, rather than signing a player that is not going to improve our team. You know, Adam Wharton would improve our team. Lamine Camara would improve our team. Ederson would improve our team, of course. And also Morten Højlund. Now, let me talk about Morten Højlund. Of course, Ruben Amorim could possibly look at his former club, Sporting Lisbon, for Morten Højlund, of course, who is look, what the thing with Morten Højlund is a very simple player. He's not like your Balebas. He's not even like Adam Wharton. He's a simple, basic player, Højlund is. And he wouldn't be my first, second, third choice. Definitely not. He's a decent player. Don't get me wrong, but he's not like a player that's going to go, wow, he's better than Ugarte. Nah, he's not better than Ugarte. And I would say that because I'm looking at, you got to remember that we do have Ugarte, we do have Mainu, we do have Casemiro in that team right now. We got to bring in players, right, that are going to improve Manchester United, are going to elevate Man United, make Man United better, not make Man United go down in level at all. Guys, the midfield is so important. We have to get this right, guys. We have to get this right. And if we're going to spend the money on a midfielder, we have to get the right one in, of course. Big up Ephraim. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good morning, Sal. My question to Ineos, when the first enter to Baleba, did they know the price? I think they did, mate. I think they did. I didn't think they knew how much the price exactly was. I think they didn't know that, guys. Absolutely. Ephraim, Sal, from those who think you realistically will sign, look, at the end of the day, you never know. You never know. I think Adam Wharton's a realistic proposition for Man United. Of course, Crystal Palace are in Europe. People are throwing that at me at the moment. Crystal Palace are in Europe, but they're in the Conference League. I don't think it's going to be the be-all and end-all that Crystal Palace are in the Conference League. He's not going to go to Man United because players are signed for Man United and could have went to Champions League team, namely Mbeumo, who went to Man United instead of Tottenham and things like that. Do you know what I mean? So what I would say is that nothing is in the realms of impossibility. Looking at the names out there, you're looking at Lamine Camara, you're looking at Højlund, you're looking at Ederson, you're looking at Adam Wharton, you're looking at Javi Guerra, you're looking at these players, Lucien Neguri, you're looking at these players, guys, that, are not playing for elite sides. So why wouldn't they want to go to Man United? It's a big opportunity because the likes of Adam Wharton will look at it, playing for Crystal Palace, right? Adam Wharton's playing for Crystal Palace. He's got a chance to go to Manchester United. He's going to go to Manchester United. He's not going to say, oh, I want to play in the Conference League with Crystal Palace. He's going to go to Manchester United. And the same with Ederson. He's playing for Atalanta at the moment, and Lamine Camara is playing for Monaco, respectively, of course. But we are Manchester United and we should be able to attract these players anyway. It doesn't matter if Man United come 15th. It doesn't matter where we finished in the league. We're not in Europe. We're still Manchester United. And playing for Man United is prestige. That's why ask Cunha, ask Sesko. Sesko had his heart set on Man United from the beginning. Barcelona were interested in Sesko. And apparently Barcelona are very aggrieved at the way Sesko didn't choose them and chose Man United. Shows you everything. They wanted him to replace Lewandowski. And there you go. He chose Manchester United. Just because we came 15th doesn't mean that players won't be interested. We still got that prestige. We still got that heritage. And we still have the attraction to other clubs and the pool, of course. Lamine Camara is a 21-year-old, I believe he is. Brilliant player, absolutely brilliant, generational player playing for Monaco. And this is what I'm talking about, P. Palms. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Man United need to cut out that middleman. That middleman, the one, who gets the player for the teams before they become big stars. That's what Brighton do well. That's what Brighton do very well. They got, obviously, Baleba before he became a star. Man United were interested in Baleba when he was playing for Lille. And Man United didn't make that move. And this is what I'm talking about, making that move, cutting out the middleman. Scout players properly, know their talent early. So you get him early, you get him cheap. And Man United could have got Baleba very cheap, and they didn't make that move. And Man United were interested in Baleba, just like we were interested in Richard Rios this season, but obviously he's gone to Benfica. And in a couple of years, maybe Richard Rios might be worth 70 million. And this is the thing. Man United have got to cut out the middleman. Lamine Camara is one of them players that is like your Balebas. Playing in France, You know, relatively an unknown quantity, but people do know about his talent. But he's playing in France, not in a major league. Maybe he wants to go to the Premier League. Make that move. Make that move. That's what Man United need to do. And, you know, we've been very slow at things like this. We've been very tunnel visioned in what we're going to sign. And some of the signings that we're linked to have been pretty obvious. They've been pretty obvious sign. Big up MSK. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Hello, Sal. It's time for us to find our Baleba. In the beginning, Brighton wasn't selling. We wasted our time. In the French league, there are some better midfielders than Baleba. Look, in the French league, exactly what I'm saying, MSK. This is what I'm talking about. You know what? Cutting out the middleman, getting the player before any other team gets him, and bring him in from France. You know, take that risk. That's what I mean, taking a risk. And you can get him for a fraction of the price of what a Baleba would cost. Look, at the end of the day, look, if they don't want to spend that money, I'm not sending Man United to slap 200 million down on the table for a player. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that basically what Man United need to do is find players. We brought in the likes of Wilcox, Barada, Vivel to find the best in class, to find the best up-and-coming players. We all knew who Sesko was. We all knew who Mbeumo was. We knew who Cunha was. You know, that is not scouting. We need to scout, you know, and find players, you know, at the end of the day, not players that we already know about, like Sesko. Yeah, of course we know about that. Did we get Vivel just to sign Sesko? We need to find more players, more up and coming players out there. Of course, there was also talk of Stiller of Stuttgart, another player that Man United have been linked to. Of course, in the array of midfielders that Man United have been linked to, he is high on the list as well. Guys, so look, there are opportunities out there for Man United to sign a decent midfielder. I know a lot of people put their heart on Carlos Baleba. I know a lot of people are disappointed and disillusioned by what Man United have done. But all we can do, guys, and what's best is now through adversity, we got to see what they do. We didn't get that player. Right, we didn't get that player. And this is the first knockback, really, of this preseason, really, because we didn't go after Gyökeres. We didn't bid for Gyökeres. This is the first knockback that Man United have truly had, where links to a player were rife. We were only ones linked to him, and we didn't get him. We became a little bit spoiled, and we became a little bit complacent. Right, and obviously with Cunha, with Mbeumo, and with Sesko, that's good. But Man United will not do anything significantly with only 3 signings. We need to get a lot more than that. Absolutely, absolutely. Sal, seeing Casemiro and Bruno in midfield is criminal. We must add the midfielder. I agree. Absolutely. Our scouting team needs to be looked into how comes the small players spot such talents and we can't, because you know what they do? They make the most of what they have. Man United have a bit of money and they're like, oh, right, okay, look, we're just going to get the best. We can't be bothered to scout anyone. And this is a big issue, you know, that Man United have had. And we used to scout better in the day under Sir Alex Ferguson. We used to scout a lot better than we do now. We used to scout. I mean, Lamine Camara, I'm talking about Lamine Camara, guys. I've been talking about Lamine Camara for the last few weeks. And why are Man United not making a move? You know, he's another Carlos Baleba in the making, maybe better. You know, if you watch him, go and watch him. You know, but Man United are aware of him. But this is the thing. There's a difference between being aware and making your move and making things happen, not just resting on your laurels and just waiting for something to happen. Man United need to make the move, of course. Big up everyone, by the way, who's joining me. Guys, of course. Big up P-Palms. Big up everyone, of course, guys. Morning, Benny. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Morning, everyone. What's going wrong here, lads, in relation to this deal? Have we been played or are we United just being arrogant? Everything looked like we would get Baleba. Now carpet has been pulled from under us. I think the biggest problem in regards to this deal, Benny, is the fact that Brighton don't want to sell number one and the £115 million price tag that they put on Baleba's head. Now, there was rumours before of 112 million. Now it's 115 million, okay? So that's about over 130 million euros. If Man United did not know the price of Baleba, maybe they shouldn't have wasted their time. You know, maybe they don't know what's going on in the market, because we all knew that Carlos Baleba is going to cost around 100 million, didn't we? You know, so Man United looked at that price and said, no, we're not going there. We're not going there. You know, and we wasted 2-3 weeks, haven't we? We wasted 2-3 weeks. We could have been working on a Lamine Camara and Adam Wharton and things like that. But look, they can fix this window. They can fix this window. We can retrieve this window. We have got until the 1st of September. Of course, the 1st of September, we got until we can sign. We could possibly sign 2 players there. So let's wait and see, guys. Let's wait and see. If we get an Adam Wharton and Lamine Camara, I would be content. I'll be okay. You know what? At least they got a player in replacement. You don't get all your targets, of course. But we have wasted a lot of time in this window, guys. People talk a lot about me. Oh, but Brentford were digging their heels in. Brentford are digging their heels in. It's not Ineos's fault. Brentford wanted the money up front. Man United were working at a payment plan. That's why it took so long. 50 days, by the way. The Mbeumo agreement to go to Man United, and you know what? Until the day he signed for Man United, 50 days we wasted. We wasted 3 weeks on this transfers, guys. We're taking too long. And coming 15th last season, we need to do a lot more, guys. And as you saw yesterday from the match, you saw the quality in the Premier League. You saw the quality in the Premier League. I'm looking at that Bournemouth game. I'm looking at Liverpool. Liverpool was struggling in that game. When it went to 2-2, you know what? A lot of teams would have folded. A lot of teams would have crumbled, including Man United. When it went to 2-2, Man United would not have won. That went on to win that game 4-2, right? And Liverpool didn't really have an out-and-out striker up front. They had a Katike, is more like a wing stroke striker up front. And they managed to make it happen and win the game 4-2. But that is what quality does. Mohamed Salah. That's what quality does. That's what quality gives you. At those tough moments when the game is getting tough, you have that player who can make the difference. Out of nothing can make the difference. Absolutely. Sanjay, big up Sanjay. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you as well. Good to see you, of course. Caleb, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. We should wait 10 games in to determine whether the window was successful or not. Our main problem was attack, not midfield last season. I agree. I have faith our defense will cover our midfield shortings. One thing I will say, Caleb, and I'm going to say this very, very, very respectfully. Our defense is slow, mate. We're at walking pace. Our build-up play is too slow. When we get that ball from defense going into midfield, it's too slow. By the time we've got the ball into midfield, the opposition team has a chance to reorganize. And that has been the problem over the last 2 years. This is what I'm talking about. The team has a chance to reorganize. So when we're passing around backwards and forwards, walking pace sometimes in the defense, guys, it shows you that we ain't got that connection between the midfield and the defense and the midfield and the stack. Now, I saw balls going in on Mbeumo. Yeah, right. Balls from Bruno to Mbeumo, Bruno to Cunha. Hoofed balls. Mbeumo and Cunha are known that they want the ball to feet. They want the ball to feet, So we're all over the place. Yeah, the defense is too slow. We're too pedestrian. Someone like Baleba could have picked, could drop deep and bring the ball forward. I'm not in a position to wait 10 games this season, mate. Absolutely not. We came 15th last. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. You can't change the spots on a leopard. You cannot. Man United needed 6 or 7 signings this summer. We got 3. It's nowhere near enough. I mean, maybe 15th, we can move us up to 8th, maybe, with the addition of Mbeumo, Cunha, and Sesko. I hope more. Of course I do. But that midfield still is a problem. I know it wasn't the main problem last season, the striker, but the midfield is a problem. The ill discipline from Bruno, the lack of mobility in the midfield, the lack of pace in defense is a problem as well. And the lack of build-up play and the pedestrian slow nature of our play is a problem. Sanjay, maybe we can get someone else. Let's hope so. I believe. Absolutely. Absolutely. Big up, Mickey. Hope you're doing well. Big up, my friend. Hope you're good. Good to see you. Don't worry about it. I'm sure it'll get better. Morning, Sal. Hope we get Wharton. I really do hope we get Wharton as well. I think Wharton is an absolutely generational player. It would be great in that midfield. Look, my biggest problem anyway, regardless if we get Baleba, whether we get Wharton, whether we get Kalimi Kamara, we've got a big gaping hole in our midfield anyway with Bruno there, because Bruno is not a number 8. I would argue that with anyone. Bruno is definitely not a number 8. Bruno's a number 10. He's a world-class number 10, or he's nothing. You can move Casemiro from centre defensive midfield to defence. He becomes a great midfielder to a very, very average defender. And this is the same with Bruno. You can have him a world-class number 10, but move him into midfield and he's an average midfielder at best. And when you're looking at all the midfields around the Premier League, there's a lot of midfielders who are better than Bruno. He's a world-class number 10. You can't just shoehorn players into position. So that was always my concern anyway. That was almost my concern. But Baleba would have helped. Baleba would have helped Bruno, bringing that ball from deep, bringing it forward and stuff. But we're not going to get Baleba. Adam Wharton is an opportunity. I believe in Ugarte. I think Ugarte will have a good season this season. I believe in him. You don't become a bad player overnight. He had one of the best ball recovery records at PSG, one of the best in Europe, guys. So what I would say is that, believe in what we have as well. Believe in Mainu, believe in Ugarte, and hopefully they come good this season. Absolutely. Benny, some doubts with the defenders, but Onana is an absolute nightmare to have faith in at all. But you can't have faith in Onana because the fact that Onana is 28, is he 28 years old? He's not going to get better. He's not going to get better. He can't get any worse, but he's not going to get better. And this is the thing that when you get to a certain age, it's very hard, again, to teach an old dog new tricks. That's exactly what it is. He's not going to get any better. He's going to have those bozo moments. That is his personality now. That is what we have. That's the Michelangelo statue already built. That is Onana, right? He's already built. He's not going to change. That is it. Well, he is a Michelangelo statue because he just stands still in that goal and he doesn't move at all. He just stands static on the goal line, of course. But what I would say is that, yeah, look, Onana needed to be replaced. I still believe he needs to be replaced. 2 weeks of this window, maybe we will get a goalkeeper in. I hope we do, but it does look unlikely at the moment. Senny Lamens, I would make a move for Senny Lamens because Senny Lamens is one of the best up-and-coming goalkeepers in Europe. So I would make a move for Senny Lamens, absolutely, definitely. 120,000%, guys, because if we miss out again, it's like missing out on Lamine Kamara, isn't it? It's like missing out on him. If we miss out on Lamine Kamara, he's going to go somewhere else. If we miss out on Senny Lamens, he's going to go somewhere else. In a couple of years, those players are going to be 4 or 5 times their valuation right now. So this is why you got to make a move now. Absolutely. I agree with that. Big up, Benny. Good to see you, my friend. Anaruj, what's going on, my friend? Hey, Sal. Whom do you think United should go with instead of Baleba now is off? I mean, as I've been speaking in this show, my friend, obviously Adam Wharton, Ederson, and Lamine Kamara. You know, there's these players. Hoyman is another one. This is capturing their imagination. You know, I mean, in regards to that, Yavi Guerra, Lucien Agui is, of course, that's his name. Guys, absolutely. He's another one that Man United should... Agume, should I say. Lucien Agume is another one Man United should be going on. It's a Sevilla star, of course. Another young up-and-coming player, 23 years old. And where did Sevilla get this player from? And this is what we're talking about. Middleman and stuff like that at the end of the day. Snoopy, good to see you, mate. This season, signed Baleba next season. Hoyman for 1-on-1s this season. Signed Baleba next season. Good point, mate. We could be. Big up, Tyborg. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again, my guy. I hope you're doing good, mate. I remember when German papers were reporting how such money can potentially influence words in a bad way, and it's a risk for both club and player. It's a risk for both club and player. It is. But it depends on the personality of the player. That doesn't mean that you don't go in for players. Because when I'm looking at 112 million, 115 million, I'm looking at inflation. So you're looking at inflation. You're thinking about the 90s. That's about 30, 40 million inflation rate. Okay, so you're looking at late 90s, early 2000s, when we signed the likes of Rio Ferdinand, Juan Sebastian Ferran and all that. So it's just an expensive player. But it depends on your character. And if you don't have the character to overcome that stress and overcome that price tag, we live in a snowflake society, Tyborg. You know, we need to stop that snowflake mentality. You play, if you cannot handle your price tag, you're not good enough to play for Man United. You should take the price tag and use that as a motivation. I am this player. I am the man. You know what I mean? I'm worth this much. I've achieved this. I've achieved that. Do you know what I mean? You can't, if for example, Baleba signed for Man United for 100 million and he doesn't succeed, yeah, because of his price tag, then obviously he's not the right mentality to play for Man United. I don't think that, look, I was raised in a different era. I don't think that a player should be scared of their price tag. It didn't scare Rooney. Inflation rate, that Rooney's a £100 million player. You know, it didn't scare him, did it? He went out and done it because he's a Man United player. And that's what we need at the end of the day. I actually think that Baleba was that guy. I actually think that he was. I think there's players like Adam Wharton who will be very good, who've got the mentality as well. You have to look at it. And this is what I've been talking about. Sir Alex Ferguson basically got to know the player, got to know the personality before he signed the player. Went out, met the family, went out to dinner with the player, got to know the player, and obviously got to know his ambition, his hobbies, his drive, is he married, this and that, just to look at him as a person. And that's very important as well, you know, if they can handle that pressure. Andy Cole had huge pressure when he signed for Man United for a lot of money back then. Alan Shearer had huge pressure, but they all succeeded. You know, these days players seem to be like, if they like that, if they're like, oh my goodness me, I can't take this price tag of mine, then they're not the right players to play for Man United. Big up Tyborg. Big up, Michael. How you doing, Mikhail? Hope you're good, my friend. Hope you're good. Caleb, as long as we win games against smaller teams, we should have last season, but we didn't. We should make top 8. I don't want to be talking about top 8, Caleb. We're Man United. We shouldn't be talking about top 8. I don't want to be talking about top 8, mate. Top 8 is Glazeronomics. When you lower your expectations, Glazers love that. The Glazers love you to lower your expectations. Don't lower your expectations. Man United's top 5 and nothing, mate. And that is what it should be at the end. We're the Real Madrid, we're the Barcelona, we're the Bayern Munich of England. We should not be saying top 8. And that is where your standards low. I wasn't raised on Man United being top 8. right? I wasn't raised on that. And if you want to be top 8, I don't think Man United is the club for you. I don't. I think we should have the expectation to finish up the top of the table. I don't care about realism. I don't care about what's real, what's fake, what's this, what's not. I want us to have higher expectations. Aim for the moon, you land on the aim for the stars, you land on the moon. Aim for the moon, you land on a cloud. Aim for the clouds, you land in the mud. If you don't aim high, you won't get high, guys. And that's what I would say about that. Revert 7. Good morning, Sal. I would like United to go all out for Warner. I think he isn't for Sal. Everyone has a price at the end of the day. I sound like the $1 million man. Everyone has a price, absolutely. But yeah, look, we'll have to wait and see. At the moment, it is all up in the air. Obviously, everyone's a little bit disgruntled about the Baleba thing, of course. It's going to be a crazy end of window, 2 weeks. Absolutely. Revert 7. Absolutely. I wonder who we are. Other midfielder options. Loads, mate. Loads. I said that. Obviously, Adam Wharton, Lamine Camara, Hurman, Ederson is another one. Yavi Guerra. Of course, Luciano Gume of Sevilla. There's lots of players out there that Man United are interested in. And some people will be watching this show, guys. Some people will be watching this show and be like, let me write that down. Let me write that down. Let me write that down because Sal said it, guys. At the end of the day, you're going to see it in other shows very soon and act like they had the exclusive. But there you go, guys. That is what it is on Stretford Post at the end of the day. We have to deal with those sort of things. Big up, Coco. What's going on, my friend? It's upsetting, but let's not panic. If we get Baleba next year, it's still a good move. But we now have plenty to worry about concerning our midfield. We have plenty to worry about. You mentioned a couple of things there in regards to Baleba. Look, I don't want to think about next season, Coke, in all due respect. I don't want to think about next season because Carlos Baleba could quite possibly, unless Man United strike a deal now, in principle, with Carlos Baleba is not our player. He could quite possibly go to Real Madrid next season. You know, he might go to Barcelona next season. He might have such a great season next season that, you know what, we're going to be fighting against the grain with other teams to get his signature. And this is the thing. You snooze, you lose in football. That's all I believe. You snooze, you lose in football, and that's what I would say. What about a cheeky bid for Tonali? So I don't think Newcastle are going to sell him, to be honest. Man United were linked to Tonali over this last window. Of course, Tonali wants to leave Newcastle, by the way. I know a lot of Newcastle fans, they got a little bit defensive when I said that he wants to leave Newcastle. But Tonali's a great player. He's a good player, of course. Another one. What's really killing us is the lack of sales and top Vito free flipping sales offload. Look, I don't want to be hearing about money, Coco, because we happily rejected 100 million for Bruno Fernandes. So I don't want to be hearing about, oh, they didn't sell this player, they didn't sell that player, because we had 100 million right there, a 31-year-old for 100 million. We had that right there, you know, ready to give us. And we didn't want to take the money. And Bruno didn't want to go. If we told Bruno, look, Bruno, you know what? We got 100 million offer for you. We're thinking about accepting it. I think it'd be good for you to leave now. Thank you for your service. He would have left. Man United begged him basically to stay. No, just stay at Man United another season to do the same things you've always done. And finish in the same position that you always finish in. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And that's what I would say. We rejected 100 million from Bruno. I don't want to be hearing any news about, oh, you know what? You know, Bruno, you know, we ain't got no money. We need to sell players. And I don't want to be hearing that now. They showed us they got money. So I don't want to hear it. They showed us. Big up, Tam. Big up, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Hackney patiently waiting. Championship player, of course. Championship player. Of course, guys. Dembo, big up, Dembo. Hope you're doing well. Morning, Sal. Let's hope United have something up their sleeve like a shit magician. Yeah, I can't find the bunny rabbit. Where is it? I can't find it. Yeah, crap magician. Absolutely. Begum, brother, get Adam Wharton. How? Money, mate. That's how it works. At Begum Smurf TV, probably small channel like a Smurf. Big up, Darren. Big up, Begum. Big up. Baleba was now on never. Yeah, I believe that, Darren. I believe that. I don't think you could snooze and lose in this game, Darren. Absolutely spot on. You can't just think, next season. Don't worry, we get him next season. I've heard that before from these ownerships, guys. I've heard Man United do that before. Didn't we say in January that don't worry, in the summer we're gonna fix a lot of things in this football team. We're gonna sign players and we're gonna build this football club. Didn't we hear that in January? We're not going to move this January, but you know what we're going to do? In the summer, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. I don't want to hear what we're going to do in next summer. I don't know. I don't care, to be honest with you. I want to know what they're going to do now to fix the fact that we came 15th last season. I don't want to be like, oh, you know what? Let's wait until next summer. We're not in the position to be saying that we're going to wait until next season. We're not in that position to be saying that. Big up, Joe. Warden is such an underrated player, and hopefully we will buy him or someone who can just handle the midfield. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely, Joe. Midfield and morning, and how you're doing. Watch along tomorrow. Yes, I'm doing a watch along, Joe, tomorrow. Hope to see you there. It's going to be an emotional game, a very, very nerve-wracking game. Of course, the first game against Arsenal. This is basically going to determine where we are, guys. But expect this in this game, guys. Expect the same wayward passing. Expect the same kicking out of touch. Expect the same lack of chances created. You know, and unless we fix that midfield, you know, nothing's going to fit. And also the build-up play. The build-up play is very slow. We do need to fix the build-up play at Man United, absolutely. Done and dusted. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're good, my friend. I hope you're doing good. Does this mean we finish 8th? I hope not, done and dusted, because Man United should never be aiming at 8th place. Never be aiming at 8th place. Absolutely not. I argue that with anyone. I'd be happy with top 8. I've heard people say, I'll be happy with top 8. I mean, are you mad? My goodness. Sal, in your opinion, Sal, should we still spend 40, 60 million on a midfielder or save the cash for next window? We'll have money next window because I do believe that we're going to, Casemiro will be gone. Bruno might be gone as well. So Man United will have money for next window. Man United accumulate money as well. Organically, they have money. I think Man United need to fix things now. I think Man United need to get Wharton now. I think Wharton's good enough. Bring him in now. And next season we sign Baleba. We don't need to sign anyone else next season. Sign Baleba next season. Sign him, but I don't want to think about next season. I want to think about now. And I want to think about what's going to fix Man United now. You know what? We have got a season next season. We do have to play football next season, you know? And next season, I don't want to just keep wishing the years away. Another year wishing away. Another year wishing away. Guys, we're getting old. We can't keep wishing the years away at the end of the day. I want to know what they're going to do now. Spend the money now. We worry about what happens later on next season. And that's what big clubs do, you know? Big up, Coco, my friend. Viva, I love simple, basic player. Receive the ball, pass the ball, move, carry it. Absolutely. Leona, Keane, absolutely, Viva. But Keane used to be an all-rounder as well. He used to get that ball. He used to move forward. He used to score goals and things like that. He's an all-rounder, isn't he, at the end of the day? This Baleba is strange to me, and I have a feeling it was not over yet. I know it was said, but to me, it's like United is now waiting for a reaction either from Brighton or Baleba himself. Now, look, Tybo, you make a very interesting point here, a great point, as usual, my friend. But what I would say is this. You never know in football. I'm not totally 100% closing the door on Baleba. Of course, when Ornstein, when Fabrizio Romano say it, people generally believe it. And 90% of the time, it is true. But what I would say is that if Carlos Baleba turned around next week and said, look, I want to move to Manchester United, that puts the cat amongst the pigeons. If Carlos Baleba is not playing for Brighton on Sunday or Saturday, that puts the cat amongst the pigeons, doesn't it? You know, then you're going to say, why is not Carlos Baleba not playing? But if Carlos Baleba does come out and say, look, I want to go to Man United, I want to go to Man United, I don't want to stay at Brighton, then Brighton have got a decision to make. Because if they keep an unhappy player, it doesn't make financial sense, business sense to keep an unhappy player on the pitch and off the pitch, because that reduces valuation. And Man United are willing to offer 100 million. So they could miss out on that, absolutely. Spirit, big up, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. How is everyone doing? Man United versus Arsenal. Can't wait for Maka at Palace. What was a red card? Yesterday was a red card and a handball. Liverpool look defensively weak and team can punish us. They do. It is early in the season, however. It is early in the season. I do think that Liverpool need to revamp that defense a little bit. It is getting on a little bit, guys. Obviously, Van Dijk is a little bit getting on a little bit. But one thing about Liverpool, which always works in their favour, is the fact that they can attack well, they can score goals. And they got Mohamed Salah up there, Ikatika. They're going to have Isaac, guys. Liverpool are going to have Isaac by the end of the summer window. They're going to have Isaac, trust me, and then they'll be a lot better holding up the ball. Revat 7. Heumann is unproven and just a solid player. He's a leader, though, a sporting captain. Absolutely. But again, as with every player, Revert 7, it does represent a risk, isn't it? I look at Heumann, I don't go, wow. You know, I looked at Baleba, I was like, wow. I look at Wharton sometimes, I like, what a player. You know, I don't look at Heumann and think, yeah, that's the player I want. You know what I mean? He's a very simple player, a very basic player that you can find anywhere. And I think Man United can do better than Heumann. But the fact that he worked with, obviously, Ruben Amorim might play a part in it. You know what I mean? But I just don't know what the transition will be for Heumann in midfield, in the Premier League. You know, at the end of the day, that's what I would say about that. Guys, absolutely. Benny, get Wharton now, very good player who will definitely improve our midfield and hopefully make another move for Baleba next summer or even next window. Get the groundwork done. Keeper is a huge problem. Absolutely, Benny. It's not the end of the world. Man United can still move mountains this window, guys. If we get Adam Wharton, we get a goalkeeper as well, then you're looking at our team and you're looking at, yeah, Man United are looking a lot more solid than they looked last season, don't you? I'm already looking at the attack and thinking, yeah, the attack's all sorted. Now we need to sort that midfield. get an Adam Walton, get a goalkeeper in, and then we're looking okay. That's it. That's why I'm not going to overreact too much. Of course, if it gets to the 1st of September and nothing has been done, this is a big, huge failure of epic proportion in regards to their first real window with their first manager. Their manager, by the way. If we go into next season with just Cunha, Mbeumo, and Sesko, you know what I would say? I'll say that's a poor window, a very poor window, and they've thrown Ruben Amorim under the bus. That's what I would say, because you're looking at our squad right now. We've lost Garnacho, we lost Rashford, we've lost Anthony, we lost Sancho, Luke Shaw never plays, Leach is injured, Aiden Heaven is injured. I've got 7 players right there, guys. In the Eric Ten Hag season, we also had Amrabat, we also had Varane. 9 players, guys. 9 players from the Eric Ten Hag era, right, are not there. Right? Are not there. Apart from maybe Rashford was on loan last season, but are not there. 9. How many players have we signed? Yeah, and it's getting less and less and less. It's getting lower and lower. The players are getting lower and lower, and our squad is getting smaller and smaller. We need to buy players for this squad, because when you look at the bare bones of our squad, when you look at beyond the first team, there's a lot of problems. And this is why I'm looking forward to the African nations. Well, not looking forward to it, but it's a very, very important education in regards to where Man United are. We're going to lose Ahmad. We're going to lose Mazraoui. We probably lose Onana. You know, we're going to lose these players, right? Mbeumo. Who's going to be replacing these players? You know, who's going to be replacing these players? And that is the key, isn't it? And a squad is important as well. Coco, absolutely big up Coco. Revert 7. Walton's passing abilities, the ability to play accurate first-time forward passes are quality. He's also Premier League proven. Unfortunately, will cost an arm and a leg. Ineos shouldn't have went all out on Baleba. I mean, I think he will, but I think he will cost significantly less than Baleba. I think it's 70 million plus incentives. This is what I'm hearing. 70 million plus incentives. And plus, also, Walton would love a move to Manchester United, and he's playing for Crystal Palace at the moment, you know? It's difficult to do. Look, the thing is these days, when you're dealing with Premier League teams, when you're dealing with these teams, the thing is these days that all these teams have money. All the Premier League teams have money. And back in the day, these teams didn't have money. They didn't have money. Like, you know, you could bully teams. These days, you can't bully teams into selling players. Say is just try and get Walton. Just try and get him. Make an inquiry. Talk to someone. How much would it cost to get Walton? And that's what you do, and work on it. We got Mbeumo. Brentford didn't want to sell Mbeumo. Okay, probably true, but my feeling is everything what was said was trying to find the right price. Could be wrong, of course. Big up, Tybo, by the way. Always good to have you here, mate, my friend. Was this us United trying to flex our muscles and try? Maybe we were blagging. Maybe we were lying. Maybe we were pretending to try and make the fan base, you know, whoa, you know, build up the share price and all that. Who knows? That could be a thing. Nico, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. We need to bring in back Ralph Ragnick, and he will find the next football stars for us, like the Brighton scouting team. Look, searching for players in the whole world of process. Absolutely, absolutely. Big up. Whenever I big up Caleb, whenever I hear about Monaco, I remember Martial, the star that didn't shine. I hope Kamara won't turn the same. We can't paint everyone with the same brush, of course. We can't do that. Every player is different. Every player has his own journey, of course. Tybog, this is exactly my feeling. Big up, Tybog. Big up, my friend. Revert 7, 2 weeks. 2 weeks left, guys. 2 weeks left. And if Man United were trying to flex their muscles with Brighton, it's manipulation, isn't it? It's manipulation of the fan base, isn't it? Another bad thing that is going to go in the Ineos cabinet of horrors, you know? Benny, no doubt we have the other targets, but wasted our time on Baleba. Still need a new keeper. We'll be here again talking about another Onana mistake. Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I hope not, Benny. But yeah, look, more times than not, we're going to be sitting here probably in a few weeks' time, say Onana again. And we've done that so many times. People in the stream who watch the live. Guys, watch the live watch-alongs. Join me for the live watch-alongs. I have 200 plus people in the house today. Let's try and do that for the watch-alongs as well, guys. We have fun. You know what I mean? It is big, especially the Man United games. What I would say is that, yeah, look, I don't want to be here in a few weeks saying, Onana again should have fixed the goalkeeper. And I can guarantee we're going to do that. We're going to do that a couple of times at least, guys. Anana's fumbled it. Anana's parried it out to the opposition player. Anana's saved it, but it's hit the crossbar and gone straight to the Oh, my goodness me. I mean, imagine. Big up, Miles. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Really good to see you. Morning, Sal. Good to see you, mate. Can you imagine a Real Madrid not getting a player that they want? Are the biggest club in the world. Makes me sad how we used to be, but still United forever. God bless you. Absolutely, Miles. Real Madrid want a player, they get the player. We are the biggest club in England, and we can't even get a player from Brighton and Hove Albion, guys. What do you think about that? Brighton and Hove Albion were in the 3rd division when I was growing up. The 3rd division. Now we can't even sign a player from Brighton. Mad, isn't it? Tybug, it seems... let me have a look. Let me just drag this down. It seems the most expensive agent in history, Agent Onana, have fouled too with Baleba deal. Yeah, he's fouled that too. And Euro. Yeah. I don't think it's Baleba's fault, though. I think Baleba wants to come to Man United. And you never know, Tybug, as you said earlier, you never know that he might turn around and say, look, I want to come to Man United. I want to go to Man United. And if he does that, then it puts the cat amongst the pigeons. And then, everything can change. Once the player sacrifices himself and says that I want to leave, just like in Mbeumo and Sesko, seldom, that, generally the player gets his wish. Next week, we'll have to wait and see, Jess. But obviously in football, you snooze, you lose, don't you? You have to go by what is now, not what is next season. We might... who knows what happened next season, Miles, sad reality, mate. Thanks to the Glazers, we are nowhere near the club, absolutely, and Ineos, to be used to be, because they slept with them at the end of the day. Let's just hope that things will change. Hopefully, only what's left for us fans, but we are here and always will be. Absolutely, we would always be Man United fans, but we have to call out the issues whilst we can, isn't it? Because if we don't mention any issues, people are just going to ignore it, and the board don't care about us. I said it to someone, my mate, yesterday. He was saying about Ineos, backing Ineos, talking about Ineos, trying to support Ineos, trying to make excuses for Ineos. I said, listen, mate, these corporate guys do not care about you. Let me tell you that right now. I said, they don't care about you. Forget about it. They don't care about you. What we have to do as Manchester United fans, we have to always put the pressure on. And when we say let's finish 8th, at least we'll finish 8th next season. That is taking the pressure from Ineos and the Glazers. That's taking the pressure from them. That's saying that, you know what, guys, Ineos will look at that and say, guys, look, they're happy with 8th. They're happy with 8th. We should be able to get 8th with this team, right? Let's not sign any more players. If we say, no, Man United, whether it's realistic or not, Man United should be challenging for league titles every single season. Now, for 13 years, we have not challenged for a league title. We are flipping Man United. We need to challenge for league titles, guys. That's what we need to do. I don't want any of this lowering standards down, lowering the bar. How low can you go? How low can you go? You know what I mean? So it works, for Ineos, and it plays into the Glazers' hands. No, Man United should always be challenging. A competitive Man United is what the world needs. It's what the Premier League needs. It's what Manchester United need. That is who we are. That is why we are called Manchester United, and we're so famous around the world. That's why I go to Cuba and I see a Man United jersey. That's why I go to Napoli and I see a Man United jersey. Now, and this is what I've been talking about. It's because who we are, what we built. These players are standing on the shoulders of giants. Bobby Charlton, Dennis Law, George Best, Duncan Edwards, Eric Cantona, Ryan Giggs, Peter Schmeichel. These players are standing on their shoulders. They've got that platform. They're already looking over the wall. Right, they've already got the platform. Brighton, Brentford, those players there have not got no one to stand on. They've got no one to stand on, and we're finishing below them. 8th, not in my interest, guys. Not in my interest. I aim high, and I think Man United should always aim high. Absolutely. Quasi, good to see you. Big up Tybo, by the way. Quasi, the last day I watched this channel, is the last thing you should be complaining about. Quasi, the last time you will come on this channel, mate, at the end of the day, you don't know nothing about football, mate. Your ball knowledge is dead. You're player FC and you're a clown, mate. So enjoy your clownism and you're banned. Goodbye. Fan show. I need a midfielder now. We can't wait for Baleba till next season. Hoyman or Kamara for me. I agree, Fun show. Yeah, exactly, mate. We can't rest on our laurels, mate. Absolutely. Big up, Lee. We need to stop giving if it is a Gera or a Goma. Absolutely, we need to stop. I agree, Fun show. I agree, but someone of quality, of course. Absolutely. what about Agume? Is he good? Lucien Agume is a fantastic player. And this is what I'm talking about, Alwyn. Lucien Agume is the type of player that will end up signing for Barcelona, will end up signing for Real Madrid. You know, he would end up signing for Manchester City. This is the type of player. We need to get that player before he's famous. Not only Agume, not only him, we're also talking about Lamine Camara. These players are the next Balebas, right? That's what Man United need to do now. They need to think about the next Balebas. You know, the next Balebas, the next one out, of course. Aim high, absolutely, Verso, and that is what it's all about, aiming high. And that's what I say all the time. Man United should always aim high. Morning, Chief. Big up, Paul. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I think they should try Heaven in midfield role, as he has a speed and he can beat a man, and maybe he won't be a regular star as we have 7 to go into 3 places. It will book. Come on, Paul. I love your positivity, mate. It's all about tomorrow, guys. At the end of the day, it's all about the Arsenal game. Let's not forget that. Of course, tomorrow we have the big one. Come on and say, still have a use. Come on, have to use common sense. I think you should talk for yourself. Look in the mirror, mate. I think you should put that Michael Jackson song on and look at Man in the Mirror, mate. Absolutely, Man in the Mirror. Ball knowledge is a bit dead for me at the moment, mate. I have a lot of people. Speak to thousands of people a day about football. Ted DiBossi was a brilliant heel. Absolutely. Money, money, money. Everyone has a price, Elizabeth. Absolutely. Ronan. Big up Ronan. Instead of spending 100 and 120 million on Baleba, I'd rather see us sign Lamens, Hoyman, and Malik Fofana. Left wing back for me. Squad depth will be key. Good point, Ronan. I think squad depth is a key. Look, Ronan, if they did that, if they did that, no one could complain. No one could complain because they could say, well, they got quality players in this team. They got quality players. They fixed the squad. The squad is better now. No one could complain at the end of the day, isn't it, guys? They would be the 110 million Baleba. Otherwise, I'm not sure if we would sign him next summer or because Liverpool would do so. And Liverpool were interested in Baleba next season. You snooze, you lose. As I said, you know, we're not going to wait until next season. It's all talk. Absolutely. Baleba could go to another club next season. I think our chance is over. I agree with that, Begum. Absolutely. I agree with that. Can Mazraoui be transitioned to a defensive midfielder the way Klopp? No, we can't shoehorn players into positions. Man United are not in that position, I don't think. You never know. You never know. And the football's different. You know, football's funny. Obviously, Roy Keane's position was changed. Thierry Henry, as we know, position was changed. You never know. Unless we try it, but we don't know, do we, if they can do that position. It's a specialist position, guys. It's just like Bruno, isn't it? It's like Bruno playing in the number 8. People think because Bruno's a number 10, he can play in number 8. It's a completely different position, and that's what we're trying to say. We're not saying Bruno's a bad player. We're saying that Bruno's a world-class number 10, but we're saying he's an average number 8, and that is a fact. He is, and that is proven. You know, look at the Tottenham game. Who made the mistake against Tottenham in the Europa League final? I'm going to make a bold prediction here, Sal. I can see Amram selling Bruno next window. For me, he upsets the whole balance. Absolutely. There you go. Great player, absolutely, but he just doesn't suit the system. And he doesn't suit the number 8. He's not a number 8. We're actually shoehorning players into that number 8 position, which is wrong. And we shouldn't be, but Man United, we shouldn't be doing that. We rejected 100 million to play players out of position. At least put him on a squad. Big up, bro. How you doing? Akara Jar. What's going on, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Are we able to sign a defensive midfielder? Really tell me, please. Akara, I cannot give you false hope, my friend. You know what? If I was a fly in the wall, I would tell you, but it does look likely Man United will make an approach for a midfielder. And let's hope, fingers crossed, that works out, guys. Absolutely. Zayad, what's going on? Wharton, Ederson, Hoyman, or Agume? Which one is the best option and more realistic on the one now? I think the most expensive one will be Wharton. He will be the most expensive one, but probably the one who will fit the system better in regards to the Premier League. I think the best shout for Man United in regards to the future and having a player that could possibly become a generational is Agume, although he's 23. He is Agume. He's one of them that could possibly become good and will be cheaper. Hoyman, obviously, you got the Ruben Amram effect and stuff like that. A bit average for me, in my opinion. Good player. Not the player that is going to elevate Man United. We need to look at things, guys. We need to look at things from a point of view that we got Ugarte, we got Mainu already, guys. Are they better than them? And if they're not better than them, I don't think we should make a move for them. Absolutely not. Might as well get the goalkeeper. We got Ugarte there. Ugarte, for me, I still believe in, by the way. I still believe in Ugarte. United are as slow as a snail when it comes to getting deals done. I agree with that, Jan. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Revert 7. New heroes will be born tomorrow, Sal. Either Sesko or Cunha will score. Come on, mate. Let's hope so, mate. Let's hope so. Most of our fans are delusional. Baleba was not for Sal, but that's the bottom line from Brighton. I don't think they're delusional, mate. I think speak for yourself, mate. Delusional. Think you have a football knowledge, Fex 767. That's delusional for me. Fex and now Adam Wharton. No, Fex and now Adam Wharton. No, it's not delusional, mate. He's playing for Crystal Palace, for goodness' sake. If you think that getting Adam Wharton from Crystal Palace or Man United is delusional, you class as a Man United fan is delusional. Absolutely. Wasted 6 weeks and getting Mbuma. Yes, 50 days. Absolutely, Kenny. Absolutely. Should have at least gotten Halamens, a right wing back. I agree, mate. And got something else. I agree. But that's down to them, isn't it? Joe, with what you said early, if we don't get a CM, then yes, it's a poor window. But personally, we can find a gem from the academy. And honestly, we believe we can beat I believe we can beat Arsenal tomorrow. I agree with that, Joe. I believe we will beat Arsenal tomorrow. Absolutely, absolutely. What was Cuba like? Cuba was different in Revert 7. One thing I would tell you about Cuba, I shot a music video in Havana, and I went to Varadero as well. Cuba, what I would say about Cuba is, if you go to Cuba, understand this. It's in the 1950s, right? Not literally, but it's still in the 1950s. Everything is backwards. It's a great experience. I would advise it to go there, experience it for yourself. There's obviously been an embargo on Cuba and stuff like that. And you won't be able to get the things that you can get usually around Europe and around America and things like that. You won't be able to get, for example, a chocolate bar, a McDonald's or a Burger King. You won't be able to find that. I don't know what it's like now. I went Cuba in 2018, 19. I went there. So that was quite a while now. But when I went, you couldn't get like basic foods and stuff like that. And it was difficult. Also, there's a lot of hustling. There's a lot of things, and you have to be careful. You have to have your wits about you. But I advise people to go there. Absolutely. Facts, Sal, or facts as always, Sal. Man United shouldn't be challenging, even though I predicted United to finish 5th. And that is more like it, Kenny. Not finishing this 8th business. Absolutely. Absolutely. Big up, Tybo. Guys, join if you want a proper part. Join us for the watch-alongs, passion, sadness, happiness. We have a roller coaster every single game. Absolutely, mate. You know what I mean? Hopefully we have a joyful roller coaster this time, and we won't have a final destination roller coaster, because we had a lot of final destination roller coasters last season, didn't we? At the end of the day, sad as it is, guys. Absolutely. 2019, early 2019. Sorry, Revert 7, February. The one deal at a time approach is so detrimental. I agree with that, Coco. I agree with that. The problem is there is not much left from the transfer window, and teams will be reluctant to sell, meaning we have to overpay. Very true, Tyberg. We wasted a lot of time, of course. You remind me of a young Mark Goldbridge. Still, he sold out. I never sold out, man. I don't think Mark Goldbridge sold out as well. Mark's a good guy, mate. Look, one thing I would say about Mark Goldbridge, everyone has their opinion about him, but you know what? He's much more of a fan than some of those other fan channels, guys. I'll tell you that right now. You know, at least he speaks the gospel. I'm not blowing smoke up Mark Goldbridge's backside. He's done nothing for me. But look, you know what I mean? He's a Man United fan. He's a good person. He's always acknowledged me. So look, at the end of the day, look, you should be looking at other people who are using Man United. He certainly isn't, in my opinion. And that's just my opinion in regards to Michael, having known him for 7 years. Joe, but 8th, silly, and for me, I'll be happy if we can finish 5th or 4th. That'll be enough, Joe. That's what I'm talking about. A potential Champions League qualifications, and then we can build from that. 8th and stuff like that is just, nah, man. Nah, I'm not happy with 8th. I've heard people say happy with 8th. Baby, what's going on, VJ? How you doing, my friend? Blame the management. Ineos out, Glazers out. Absolutely, bro. That is what it's all about, guys. Sal, your rap buzzer is better than Nas. Thank you, Spirit LFC. Reds is my brother. Go and check him out, Reds. He's also got a YouTube channel called Shaq Warner Unchained. Shaq Warner Unchained. SHAK Warner WARNER Unchained. Go and watch it. Fabulous channel. Very, very, very informative and very controversial. Sanjay, has there been a comments from United about Baleba deal? There's been a lot, nothing at the moment. I'm sure we're going to hear a lot more about it next week. Can't wait for Sesko against your carers tomorrow. Absolutely. Having said everything that we said today, guys, what matters is tomorrow. That's what all that matters here, guys. Tomorrow's game is all that matters. That's all we're here for, guys. It's tomorrow's game. Man United winning against Arsenal. Ultimately, that is what football's about, winning football matches. I can't wait until we have a time where it used to be, where it was all about the football, you know? And I want it to be all about the football. I want us to be winning matches, because if we win matches, no one really cares who plays, who doesn't play and stuff like that. No one really cares who signs, who doesn't sign. We don't really care when Man United were winning. And that is the most important thing. We need to win football matches. Of course, if we sign players, you know, it helps us win football matches. But it is what it is. Ineos will be, Glazers will be, and that's what we were talking about from the beginning, guys. Guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Absolute legends, of course. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Big up Stephanie, by the way, one of the trues. Yes, the watch along, I'll try. Let's have a look. Let's keep your notification on, Tyborg. I will see what I do. If I'm not doing anything, I might do a watch along for one of the games, guys. Probably be Newcastle against Aston Villa. I might do that, but keep your notifications on, guys, in case I go live. It'd be great to have you here, there, of course, guys. Absolutely. But, guys, yeah, we have to make Old Trafford into a fortress, and that starts now, guys. Absolutely. That starts now. That starts tomorrow. Have a great day, guys. Enjoy yourself, and don't worry too much. I will be back later on for Chatterbox anyway, regardless, guys. But, guys, don't forget to smash a like on the video on the way out, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new, guys. You're absolute legends. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow, later on today for Chatterbox. And, guys, put your notifications on. Don't forget, I might go live for one of the watch-alongs. You never know these days, of course. Take it easy. Peace.